You're about to meet the oldest lesbian in the world.
Say lesbian to everybody here.
What's your line?
My line is, you want to go home with me? I'm trying to get you for 79 years, for Christ's sake. Not that I could get you, I mean.
Well, I don't know. With lines like that, it's hard to resist.
Really?
I have fun with this whole thing about being the oldest lesbian in the world.
Yes.
But what do you think about that?
The oldest active lesbian in the world.
Because you're still doing it, aren't you?
No, not with strangers. If someone gave me a certain look that I could identify, then I would.
Oh, I see. You talk mucho trash when your girlfriend's in the house.
Yeah. Here you are, Bobbie.
Oh, and look at that. Look how cute you were.
5 months.
You look like a little boy there.
I do.
Do you mind if I say your age?
Not at all.
97 years on
Six.
this earth. 96, excuse me.
In
honey.
June, if I live to be around, I'll be 97.
You were born in 1913. So that means that you lived through the Great Depression, World War II.
The Second World War.
That's right. You lived through the rock and roll 50s, wife swapping, free love 60s. Okay, well, let's go back to the first time that you thought you were different. How old were you?
6. There's a little girl by the name of Janet Sporn.
You can remember Janet Sporn's name.
Yeah. She never turned around and looked at me, and that burned me up. The only thing I could do was to take one of her blonde curls and stick it in the inkwell. Next day, my mother came to school and told Miss Healy, who had access with a ruler, to whip my ass. And she used to do that frequently. Pull my drawers down, lay me over her knees, and the boys would laugh and the girls would laugh.
Did you have a crush on any of the teachers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My English teacher,
Oh,
Miss
yeah.
Silverman.
Silverman, honey.
Different girls. But we never went to bed. We kissed a lot on the back steps.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, but...
All right. You're kissing the girls on the back steps.
Well, they were kissing me back, too. My mother used to take my father's old shirts, turn the collar around, cut it down for me, and I was wearing my father's shirts that fit me, and that was the way I dressed.
Well,
But my hair was cut short. I think I had sideburns.
Now, would it be safe to say that you were considered dapper?
Well, it was safe to say that I was considered queer. There was no doubt who I was and what I was, because I looked like a dyke.
Now, who was the nurse you kissed?
She was little and petite and kind of cute, and she was going to stay over. Well, as soon as she got into bed, I turned around and kissed her, and she jumped out of bed and started crying. And she jumped out of bed and sat on a chair, and I was in bed sitting up, and I was saying, "But you're a nurse. You're a nurse." I'm like, how come you don't know about this, you know? I never knew anybody who was, but I felt by this time that there must have been other people like me.
Oh, and she, of course, is in the medical
And then she decided to play martyr. And for 7 years, we had a relationship.
Wait.
She never participated, but I was in love with her.
So, now let me get this straight. By martyr, you mean that she didn't want to participate in a girlfriend relationship?
She loved me as a person, and she wasn't going to hurt me. And as a result, she got alopecia, a bald spot in the middle of her head.
Now, this is a result of her not giving you any. Is this what we're trying to say?
That's right. She didn't participate. She just let me work her over, you know. That's Hope.
Okay. That's Hope. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at. This is Hope. Ooh, Hope was fine. Absolutely gorgeous.
You don't want to shoot
She was. She looked like some movie actress at the time. I looked at her and I thought, ooh. We were in bed and she said, do it. I don't know how I knew what to do.
And what'd you tell her?
And I said, but it's so unsanitary. She took my head.
And shoved it down. So you did it.
Yeah, I felt, not bad. Do you know how I met Hope? I went to a communist party. Hope was sitting there looking like a movie star. And I noticed all the guys who came up to ask her to dance, she turned down. So I thought, well, I'm going to try. I don't know why. She was kind of shivering anyway. And I went to the cloakroom and got my coat and put it over her. And I said, do you want to dance? And she said, sure.
You're kidding.
No, it was just that easy.
And you guys danced there?
We danced, and everybody glared. She kept looking at me, and I kept looking at her. And my heart was going like this. She asked me to go and sleep with her at her grandmother's. The grandmother was around all night, really.
Because the grandmother one look at you and the grandmother knew.
Oh, she knew. She didn't like me either. Stupid wench.
So what happened with you and Hope?
Well, she went to this meeting with a guy, and I think she slept with him. So when she got in, she said, oh, darling, so good to be home. I said, get your things and get out. And she said, what's the matter with you? I said, I know all about your trip. I shouldn't have done that, you know, because I really didn't want her to leave, but I thought I had to do it.
Mm-hmm. You loved her?
Yeah, I did. She came to see me from New York with her husband.
And obviously he didn't know.
She said, I'll be back when I'm 40. Obviously, didn't happen.
No.
By that time, I was well on my way. It was not unusual to go home with a girl, you know.
So you had to.
Even if you didn't know her. When the clubs were closing, I'd go over to a gal I was eyeing all night, and I'd say, would you like to go home with me? And she'd usually say, I beg your pardon. And I said, well, do you or don't you? You know, very calmly. And they did. And they would hang out at my side and followed me into my car. And the next morning I would say, where do you want me to drop you? Well, I had a lot of sex in my life. So
there you go. Did you ever have a black lover?
3.
3. When was your first?
Marion. She was a school teacher. I had a crush on you, too. I know you know it.
We'll talk about that, too.
Oh, I didn't tell you about my Mexican lover. She was fired for 12 years. Inherited 2 of her daughters. They're 50 in their 50s now, and they have children, grown children, and they still come to see me. Lee, she was Chinese, came out here for a vacation, went to a party. Our eyes met. The door was half ajar. I came in, and that was it. And
That's just like in a movie.
Yeah, and she left 2 days later.
And you remember the name?
What a night we had.
You remember the name, the night?
I don't remember her last name.
That's okay.
The door was ajar. I looked in there, she was. She didn't say a thing. It was just like it was ordained, really.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm saying.
If she had been in town, she would have been next.
Did Magna come after?
Magda was not a one-night stand. I came to California because of Magda. She kept writing to me about the beautiful houses, and they're painted, and the roses, the rose arbors and all that. When I came through downtown LA, I thought, where are these roses? Oh, God. I cried that night. And I thought I went 3,000 crappy miles. Nobody was on the road. Anything could have happened to me, you know.
Did you go alone?
Yeah.
Cross country alone?
Mm-hmm.
To go and follow Magda? Because she told you there were rose bushes and painted arbors?
Well, we were together 5 years.
Then Magda, she goes off and gets married, and then she's
then
leaving
she got-
Bobbie.
Then I'm with a girl, Doris Charlie now. She was like Ava Gardner. I met her at the IF Club. I drove her home, and she said, aren't you going to kiss me goodnight? I said, of course. That was it.
That was it. She fell under your charm.
I took her to New York with me. My mother accepted her. She loved her. She really loved her.
Is this Evelyn?
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
She wasn't really beautiful, but she was very sexy. Very sexy. You met her.
I did meet her.
Yeah. Did you think she was sexy then?
I did. Look at her now. She's very sexy in this picture. This is a great picture of the two of you.
She died overnight. She went to sleep, never got up again. I thought, this is impossible. She was alive yesterday. She's dead today. And I went into a depression which lasted almost 2 years. I just sat in my house, didn't do a thing. It seemed like my arms were too heavy to lift. I sat this way.
Right.
That's it.
I see you love beautiful women. And
Well,
clearly.
you go to a party and there's an attractive woman and you're on the make, wouldn't you go for the attractive woman?
Absolutely.
Well, that's it.
Were they oftentimes straight or bisexual?
Yeah.
Who is this hottie? That's another movie star.
I can't see this.
Here, here's your seeing eye thing.
Well, this is a girl I went to high school with. I met her in the ranch market. I said, oh my God, you know. But I had her girlfriend.
Did she know you had her girlfriend?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's good.
I wouldn't recommend her. She was British.
Yeah. A little uptight, was she?
Upside? No, she wasn't. No. Oh, she told me there was something wrong with her knish or something. that she could never get an orgasm. Jean Pyatt. And when her girlfriend went to New York, we had a brief affair.
Oh, so when the well, so the motto seems to be that these women better not leave town with you around.
Well, you know, I didn't run over and make out with them. They called me.
Well, you were a magnet for pretty women.
Huh?
You were a magnet for pretty women.
I guess so. This is Magda's old girlfriend.
Did you ever?
No, she was a Butch.
Oh, no, that's just too.
I don't go to bed with Butches.
No way.
I don't go to bed with Butches. Da 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 da.
Don't go to bed with Butch.
Oh, you could do that in a gay club.
Yes, I could.
I don't go to bed with Butches. Butches are a little too tame for me.
This woman has had a bevy of beauties, and she just keeps them coming and coming and coming. And for some reason, you seem to have stopped that train ride.
We went to that wonderful party you gave, Valentine's, and I was so bored.
Until you never know what can happen.
Number one.
See, you found your life partner.
I met you when I was 88. I looked all right. And 9 years later, where am I? With the best girl in the world. That's it.
That's it.
She has got to be
All right, move on.
the best disposition in the world. Because I'm not easy to live with today.
You're kidding.
I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch of the world. Would you like to go home with me? Well, do you or don't you? She didn't participate. She just let me work her over, you know.
You see what I'm saying?